Hello everybody and welcome to our Year 7 Parents Information presentation. My name is Mr Amin and I'm Head Teacher here at Oaks Park High School, and I'd officially like to welcome you to our community. You're all now officially part of our school community. This September marks a new beginning for all of us. We've all been through the period of lockdown and many of your children would have been out of school for a significant period of time. Some of you may have returned back to your primary schools for a very short period of time on a part-time basis. There will obviously be lots of questions, concerns and anxieties about starting secondary school. The aim of this presentation is to make sure that we answer as many questions as possible to try to alleviate those so that you are prepared for a September start. We will do our best to ensure that transition is as smooth and as successful for all the children starting with us this September in Year 6. Normally, this presentation to parents would take place on the Year 7 induction day in the evening. However, this year, as you're well aware, induction day has not been possible. The aims of this presentation are to introduce all of you to Oaks Park High School to give you a feel for what the school is all about. You'll be introduced to the Year 7 team and also have information about the Year 7 curriculum and what your child will be taught when they start here this September. As your children start their secondary school journey, there's lots to get to grips with. There will be new faces when they arrive, they will meet students from other schools, there will be a new building. We've made significant changes to our building and all of that information will be given to you this September too. There are new systems that are different to the primary school. There's a new uniform that is being introduced for all Year 7s from the start of the new academic year. Students will have to get used to new journeys and new ways of getting to school. Some may be travelling a lot further than they have in the past. They'll be making new friends. There'll be lots of new opportunities and new experiences as they begin their secondary school journey. A lot has already taken place in terms of transition throughout the last few weeks. Miss Alden will give you more information about everything we've done so far and also introduce you to the curriculum.
As Mr Amin has mentioned, lots of transition work has been taking place already to help ensure that your child has a smooth start here at high school. Virtual meetings have taken place with your child's school teachers and SENCO if relevant. We've been using this information to plan our provisions for September. We have started virtual meetings with each of the students. Hopefully you have been able to attend these to get some more information. The Year 7 team have been recording messages which are now up and live on the school website. We have recorded a virtual tour and we have sent out transition packs to all students. These will include information about what to expect in September, a copy of a book called Go Big, which is a fantastic book to read to learn all about transition to high school, and a welcome letter from a current Year 7 student. Over the summer holidays, we will again be sending out summer holiday homework and information about the students' tutor groups, so please look out for these. Now, transition doesn't end there. In September, the students will be starting with us on the Monday, the 7th of September. We would ask that students arrive at school at 8:30 and they will complete a full school day and leave at 2:50. During this day, students will be with their form tutor to help get them familiar with high school. They will spend time meeting new people, making new friends and finding their way around the school. As well as this, they will be introduced to the Year 7 playground and bespoke assemblies will take place over the first half term to help ensure the students feel comfortable. We also have 2 evenings that are planned to help give you more information as parents. The first is the Parents' Academic and Pastoral Information Evening, which will take place on the 15th of September. This will be an opportunity to find out more about the subjects that we're offering, to meet the tutors and to ask any questions you may have. This will be followed by a slightly more formal evening on the 20th of October in which you can have a meeting with your child's tutor for a more extended period of time to find out how their first half term has gone. I'm going to hand over now to Mr Barkley, who is the Year Group Leader of Year 7, to explain a little bit more about the Year 7 team.
Thank you, Ms Alden. My name is Mr Barkley and I'm the Key Stage 3 Leader, but I'll also be the Year Group Leader for Year 7. We also have within our staff instructor, Ms Noble, who's an assistant head teacher, who's going to have particular focus with this Year 7 group. Miss Auden, who's in charge of the transition process, who you've met. Miss Friend, who's a year manager, who'll be dealing with many pastoral issues and ways to support your children as they enter our school. And also Miss Townsend, who's a Key Stage 3 assistant, who'll also be supporting your children here at Oaks Park High. I'm privileged to say we've got an amazing team of tutors that are ready to support your pupils and children when they enter the school, and the list you can see there on the board. We have Miss Auden, Miss Townsend, Miss Parker, Mr Brown, Miss Gabani, Miss Silt, Miss Richardson, Miss Aloysius and Miss Milia, who are all very strong tutors and looking forward to meeting your children. There are many ways you can support your child as they transition from primary school to secondary school. One of the easiest ways is just to make sure their bag is packed, ready for the school day, and if they've done their homework. Another way would be ensuring they have a good diet, drinking plenty of water, and also having a good night's sleep. When they start experiencing full academic days, it can be quite tiring, so getting a good night's sleep and getting to bed at a reasonable hour will really help and benefit them the next day at school. Please check communication with the school. We will try and communicate with you often, either by phone call, by email, school Twitter, Wedgig, school head teacher's newsletter, so a variety of ways. And please try and make sure you're checking these resources and these social media platforms, just so we can work with you to support your children. Looking for opportunities to talk to your children about schoolwork. You know, a lot of children come home from school and don't want to talk much about their school day. Try and engage with them if you can. We have exhibitions where children can show their work and we can celebrate some of their success. We're going to produce lots of positive contact home. Positive postcards will be sent home, emails, phone calls, and we really push for positive communication to celebrate your child's success here at Oaks Park. On the occasion when we have to make a negative phone call or discuss an issue that's occurred in school, we really appreciate your support. The reason we make these calls is just to address any issues and adapt any behaviour that we see. We encourage your child to be part of the wider school community, join extracurricular clubs, become part of sports teams. We've got lots of amazing clubs, both during the school day, at lunchtime and break times, and after school. These will be advertised during tutor times, and we'll make sure you are all fully aware when these clubs take place, and they're open to everybody to join in, make new friends, try new sports, try new hobbies, and as I said, become part of the wider school community here at Oaks Park. Homework, so discuss the organisation of homework. Obviously it can be a tricky issue, having a space to work in and having that parental support. We will be communicating often about homework, and we will be chasing up any work that's not completed. So hopefully a nice routine can be established that enables them to complete all the work we are setting. We're going to be using class charts, so we've got lots of systems that are going to be used to support your children, and you'll find out more about these in September. But if you check class charts, there'll be notifications for homework. Homework clubs, if you don't have a space or you perhaps don't have the facilities for homework to be completed, we offer lunchtime homework clubs, and your children will be told about these during tutor times, and I'll reinforce this in our weekly assemblies. Tutor support, as I said, we've got an amazing team of tutors who are ready to support you. They will be contacted home often, hopefully with lots of positive comments. But as I said, if there are times we need to address issues, we really appreciate your support in these. Communication. We aim to communicate as often as we can. It'll be the tutor, as I said, the head teacher bulletin, which is done weekly, our school Twitter feed, which gives information, and as Miss Auden said, you can see our recent tour guide video on there. The website, emails, phone calls, the postcards, and your attendance at some of the events that Miss Auden has mentioned, and future events is really appreciated. We know it can be challenging, but just to meet and put a face to some of the people we talked to on the phone really helps us engage and connect with you as parents and carers. Some other things we use that I've mentioned, there's the Oaks Park Twitter feed, class charts, and Google Classroom will be systems we'll be using regularly next year, and we'll make sure that everybody, all the students and yourselves, have a full understanding of how these systems and structures work. But fundamentally they're there just to support you and make school life and the transition into our school a lot easier. Thank you very much for listening. I'd like to pass you over to Miss Noble.
Snowball, and I'm just going to talk to you a little bit about the school uniform, equipment and the curriculum your child will follow while they're here at Oaks Park High. So the first thing we're going to look at is the school uniform, and you can see up here we have the new uniform for us as Oaks Park High, and the Year 7s will be the first year group to actually wear that, so it's a really nice exciting start to the year for us too. We have got a new thing with the tie, so there's going to be a tie with the year group stripe, which is a special colour, and Year 7 will have a stripe of green on their navy blue tie. We do have some quite strict regulations around footwear. So the footwear, we would urge you to look closely and make sure that the shoes that you're buying for your child are meeting our requirements. There are unacceptable shoes which are detailed closely on the website, which you must make sure you look at. We do have a policy where we don't allow students to wear trainers, unless of course there is some medical issue, and if there is a medical issue in the background, please make us aware before your child arrives at school. We do ask for all students to have the school rucksack, and we would like darker coloured coats please, in order to ensure that our students look presentable. There is some PE kit that you need to be aware of. There is compulsory PE kit which you can see on the school website to find out a full list about what you must purchase. One of the areas which you don't have to purchase the actual compulsory PE kit is the training trousers. So you can just go to a supermarket or a high street shop and buy navy training trousers or leggings. We do ask for all students to have a gym sack or a gym bag in order to make sure that their belongings are safe and kept in transport with us. That brings us on to the equipment that your child will need to bring to school every day. You can see on the board the things that we ask the students to have, and to make sure, like Mr. Barkley mentioned, that these are packed the night before so they're ready to come into school. We do ask all Year 7 and 8 students to bring in a reading book, and this is often used in lessons as part of our drive to improve reading across the school. A full list of all of this can be seen in the transition booklet that you have been sent at home, and also can be found on our website. The Chromebooks are something that we're not asking students to purchase this year. Due to the financial situations that have arisen around coronavirus and furlough, we are saying that we do not want Year 7s to have to purchase these Chromebooks. Instead, we have got enough Chromebooks in school to have banks of these around the Year 7 classrooms, and your child will have full access to use these when teachers say that they are required in the lesson. Of course, if you want to purchase some sort of device at home to use in order to aid your child with their homework, that's absolutely fine, but we would say that we do not want those devices to come onto site at present. I'm going to talk now about the school day that your child will experience here at Oaks Park High. So the timings are on the board, and you can see that students are expected to arrive by 8:25 at school. As Mr. Barkley explained earlier on in the presentation, if your child is late, there is a detention. This doesn't happen for the first couple of weeks because we know that students need to sort of like familiarise themselves with the school day, but after the first couple of weeks, children in Year 7 will be given a detention if they arrive late to school. They go straight away into tutor time, and they spend between 8:30 and 8:50 in their tutor time, and this gives us a chance to make sure that all students are settled, they've got everything they need for the school day, and they have a chance to check in with their tutor, who is their key person within the school. You can see then that students go on to have hour-long lessons, and so they have 2 hour-long lessons, and then they go into their break time, and their break time takes place between 10:50 and 11:10. Then we have one more lesson, which is period 3, and then all Year 7 and 8 students will have their lunchtime, and that takes place between 12:10 and 12:50. During that time, they go and they can be outside of the playground, and Year 7s obviously have their own special playground, the Year 7 Mooga, which they can use. After that, they go into period 4 and period 5, which again are hour-long lessons, and then they're ready to leave at 2:50, which is the end of the school day. We're really pleased that we brought forward the ending of the school day, because we're hoping that this will mean that our students get out a little bit earlier and don't have to experience the difficulty with the school buses being quite full. So the school day finishes at 2:50 and they will come home to you. Now this brings us on to our curriculum. Obviously your students or your children and our new students are going to find that they have got a very different sort of day than what they've had at primary school. And you can see that we've got different numbers of periods for each subject. So for English we have got 4 periods per week, and for maths we have 4 periods per week. One of your lessons in English will actually be a designated grammar and something called accelerated reader lesson. We really pride ourselves in trying to push our Year 7 students to read widely, because this is one of the main ways to raise their attainment and progress at school. That's another reason why we're saying that all students should have a reading book. So in their English lesson, they will go down to the library after they have had the grammar section, and then they will spend their time doing some activities around reading. The maths lesson, they have 4 periods a week, and for science, they have 3 periods a week. You can see then that for PE, they have 2 lessons of PE, 2 lessons of MFL, and then geography, history, music, drama and art, and DT or food technology all happens once a week. Curriculum for Life is one of our subjects that happens 4 times a week. What I'm going to do now is pass you over to Miss Alden, who leads that subject, and she's going to give you a bit more information about what that contains and how that looks. Thank you very much.
So Year 7 students will have 4 lessons of Curriculum for Life per week, and the aim and the focus is providing students with the skills they need to be both successful at school and also in later life. Curriculum for Life will continue through years 8 to 11, in which the students will have 1 lesson a week, in which we will focus on developing knowledge around PSHE topics, RE and study skills that are required. The aim of Curriculum for Life is to ensure that students leave us at Oaks Park High with the skills needed to be successful employees and also to be active citizens both in the local and global community. Students will also be developing their competencies and their skills that they will need for school and later in life. We will be focusing on developing communication skills, creativity, critical thinking, as well as study skills such as note-taking and revision techniques. Over the course of Year 7, students will study 5 projects in Curriculum for Life. This will begin with our transition project called Being an Oaks Parker. During this project, students will be learning about life at high school. They will be interviewing and talking to different members of the school community and working together to produce a book that guides other students to what it is like to start Oaks Park High. This book will be professionally published and we'll use it as part of our publicity materials. Our next project is called Spread a Little Happiness, in which students will look at the role of kindness in religion. They will also choose a local charity that they would like to work with to either raise money or raise awareness for. One charity a tutor group we chose this year was the Royal Marsden, and they raised over £600 to support this cause. Our next project is called Speak Out, in which students will be using performance poetry skills to talk about and articulate their views on global issues. We then move into a project called Make a Change, in which students will work together as a group to start a local action project. And we will finish the year with our Curriculum for Life Award. This project will be based on the Duke of Edinburgh Award and will develop students' first aid skills, outdoor education skills such as orienteering and camping skills, and they also will be doing some volunteering. I'm going to hand over now back to Mr. Amin, who will conclude this presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Miss Alden. That concludes our presentation assembly. I'd also like to thank Mr. Barclay and Miss Noble. As you can see, we have a wonderful team of Year 7 teachers here who will be looking after your children when they start this September. As I said at the start of the presentation, there will be lots of concerns, lots of questions, lots of anxieties about the transition process. Many Year 6 students will not have been at school since March. Some may have returned on a very part-time basis over the last few weeks. It doesn't really matter which category you fall into. I would like to reassure all students and parents that when your child starts here in September, we will do everything to make sure that they catch up with all the work they've missed and they're fully prepared for Year 8 when they get there in a year's time. Thank you very much to all parents for taking the time to go through this presentation with your children. Please make sure that you answer any questions for them that they may not understand, and feel free to get in touch with anybody at the school if you still have any concerns or queries. Hopefully, a lot of them will have been answered throughout the presentation and the video. There will be lots of communication coming out to you, both with this video and over the course of the next few weeks before your child starts in September, and that will also help with any questions that you may have. What I will say now to all children in Year 6 is do try to enjoy your summer holidays, stay safe, have a wonderful summer, and we look forward to welcoming all of you to Oaks Park High School this September.